When the pandemic first struck and everybody was getting their news at the same time, my family and I immediately became very anxious about what would happen with my father.
I think in the beginning, everyone was saying, no, this can't be that serious. And then as the days went on, people saw how serious it was.
And I'm high risk. So for me, it was real bad. So I was like, oh boy. I was hiding from everything and everybody.
It was surreal. It was like being in the Twilight Zone.
And I was very worried about how I was going to cope.
The scariest moment for me early on was really the residents' health. Our population was the one that was impacted the most. I was really afraid. I didn't want to lose anyone in the building.
When we first got word and heard information from the CDC about what was going on with the coronavirus, it was a scary time. But we had really great leadership from Walter Ramos over at Rogerson Communities. He made it very clear that our number one priority was the health and safety of our tenants.
The messaging from Rogerson was very early. Even before we knew the scope of what was going to happen, Rogerson was already directing us how to speak to our residents, what supplies we would need.
We started to put restrictions in place that were much stronger than what most people were doing. So we were always a little bit ahead of the CDC and the Department of Health guidelines.
Well, the manager here at Beacon House, Sandra Wiggum, has been very strict about wearing masks. They did their best. They had to close some of the common areas, but this helped.
My staff came to work every day. They postponed their personal vacations, didn't take any time off. Elfrida, our resident service coordinator, she's been with Rogerson for over 30 years. She made sure that she called every resident daily.
Beacon House staff was still reaching out to make sure that they had their medications, to make sure that they were able to get their food, that their support services were still intact.
It's like a well-oiled, synchronized machine. They take care of us. They respond to our calls almost 24 hours a day.
I think one of the big lessons that I learned through all of this was how when you have great leadership, things can really work in your favor.
I think we just had to think through, kind of from our hearts, what the best thing is for them.
My respect and gratitude for our maintenance staff has grown so much during this. They work tirelessly to keep the building safe, to keep our residents safe.
What I am most grateful for in this was the team that I got to work with at Rogerson House. They are wonderful, loving, caring people, and we couldn't do this without them. Our building wouldn't run without them.
They not only took care of their physical needs, but also their emotional needs.
Giovanni, Emma were coordinating with us, giving us whatever context we needed for food. It was great.
Fortunately, the outcome has been wonderful. My husband didn't get sick. I'm thankful every day.
With all the people like Emma, looking after us the way she does, I feel that I could go out and come back and say, this is home. This is where I want to lay my head.
You know how I stay strong through this all pandemic? Because I do my exercise, get dressed, go around my garden, replant my plants, because I keep moving.
Could not be any better through this virus. Could not be any better.
If I could do one thing, what I would love to do is not just hug my husband, but hug all of the staff at Rogerson House.
Thank you, Sandra, Andre, and Eric. You guys are awesome.
It's incredibly reassuring to know that my dad is here and receives the level of care that he does. We couldn't be more grateful.
I
feel like everybody cares and goes beyond what anyone would sanely expect of them.
From the beginning, I've realized the attention to detail here of the team and the trust that's been able to been built up pretty quickly between myself and the team here to relieve some of the responsibility off my shoulders.
And I've been here at the Beacon House for 17 years. Everything is wonderful here. This is my home.
Well, I'm very thankful to be living here at Beacon House. A roof over my head and helpful people. I know that they're thinking of my interest, and this is very comforting, especially as you age. You need some kind of assurance that somebody cares about you.